Hey guys, LJ here, and happy 4th to you if you celebrate the 4th of July. I wanted to share more of what I mean. I just posted about how yoga can create inner freedom, right? So, what do I mean by that? And that's really a lot of what our yoga experience is about, is our inner experience. It turns out, even though it changes our outer experience so much, especially as we tune in, right, to the fact that our inner experience, our focus, our use of our attention, our use of our awareness, our use of our thoughts, our use of our imagination, right? This inner experience and even the ways that we interpret our feelings is all part of freedom, right? Because what we're getting to do with these practices of yoga and meditation, and again, I say it a lot that yoga just means union, really, or to join or connect. So that's why it's not just a bunch of exercises, even though we can get that experience, create that experience within exercises, which is just one of the parts. But how does this create freedom, right? So part of what really the main thing that we're getting to do with our yoga, with our meditation, with this reconnecting lifestyle, this more connected lifestyle, that's about being more connected to ourselves, right? Being more connected to ourselves in a way that helps us live life in a more conscious way, right? In a way that feels better, flows better, and is more authentic to us, and maybe even getting us closer to our unique passion and purpose and what we're here to do in the world, right? So, when we're using these practices to develop this relationship with ourselves, whether it's half of it is just getting more tuned in to what is going on for us. How are we doing? And getting into ways to respond to that, right? And bringing in things like our non judgment, which is a huge piece of the psychology with yoga. And that really frees us a lot to bring in non judgment, right? And then we've got these things that we can do to really develop that relationship with the mind, which I've made some videos about, right? Which is again like a part of ourselves, so that we can be checking in on how we are using that power tool of the mind, how those feelings are serving us, and learning to tune in more and more to what is true for us, and also learning to tune up how we're feeling, right? And flowing, and even being able to shift and change how we feel and how we're thinking and how we're focusing, which is like amazing freedom, right? To start to have that capacity, the inner technology, really, to do that with ourselves. And if you love making it a spiritual thing, then heck yeah, that's what this is all about. Yoga means union, connection, to join with that more spiritual part of us, with that part of us that is more maybe our true self, our higher self, our heart, our soul, our connection with God or spirit or the universe or whatever we like to call it, right? So a lot of us find that when we get learning and living more from that place, right, in alignment with that part of ourselves in life, then we have this new sense of freedom also, because that goes with a lot more faith, right? A lot better sense of what we're doing with our beliefs and how important that is, right? And even this empowered feeling of connection that we're not alone, right? And that we have this spiritual support, or even just this inner guidance or our intuition or our truth, that the more that we can learn to live from that, right? That's going to free us in so many ways and free us up to really be who we are, right? Which is so cool, right? So, yeah, maybe you're starting to get a sense of how our yoga, our meditation, which can be all sorts of things, right? It can be time on the mat or a pillow. It can be time in nature. It can be time on a bike. It can be time walking, dancing in the bath. It's really more about that inner experience that you're deciding to let even just this moment be a moment of yoga, right? And do that tuning in you can do with yourself. That's going to be part of that freedom, because the more aware you are, the more tuned into what is true for you, the more authentically you can respond, right? And even choose how you want to be in the world and with others, which is a great freedom as well, right? So, that inner experience, though, it's a lot about, and maybe all about, that inner experience, even though it's going to really change our outer experience. Our yoga, our meditation, anything that we're doing to reconnect ourselves, keep building that connection, and let our moment to moment, day to day life be about being in that connection, right? So, freeing us from the other ways of life and opening up, the possibilities with this more tuned in lifestyle. So awesome, right? So I hope that's helpful. A little tidbit on how yoga and meditation free us really from the inside out, which is the ultimate power, right? So I'm here to help. If you want any ideas for your tuning practices, we can always benefit from bringing in some new ideas or bringing back some old ideas and just getting it more like every day. Ways we can tune in, tune up, and free ourselves, right? Do it. All right. Love you guys. Namaste.